We only had 24 hours in the city of Tokyo at the tail end of our trip, and here's our recommendations for food if you're ever in the same situation. First up in Shibuya is a completely vegan izakaya called Isakaya Masaka, which just happens to be in the same building as the Pokemon Center and the Nintendo store, with the restaurant just being in the basement. After waiting for a few minutes to be seated, we looked over the menu before ordering through their website. The food kind of came in waves, so the first dish we were served was mapu tofu, and I'll just say everything we had was amazing, including this first dish. Second was a spicy noodle soup dish that had 5 spice in it, and it really left a tingling sensation on my tongue, but it was more of a spice character than a hot spicy kind of character, if you know what I mean. Then the fried food came out, and the first thing we got was these fried mushrooms that was nice and crispy, that we pretty much had a fight over who got the last one. But the best item that just happened to come out last was these spicy fried chicken balls. My only regret for these was that we just didn't order more. After months of research and trying so many different types of pudding shops, this is the best one in Tokyo because of the quality eggs that they use to make this pudding. One of the main reasons to come here is to get a dozen more fresh eggs, as other customers were doing just that when we were ordering. But for us, we came here specifically for the little pudding that comes in these egg cups, and it kind of reminds me of those plastic eggs that get filled with Easter candy. And this was my first time having it, and the richness from the egg was very, very apparent, and so I give this a 10 out of 10. I think the best craft beer I found in Tokyo is Yeast Brewing. We made our way over there to the location that's out in Shinagawa. After looking over the menu, we first started with their sour vocation and the Sakura IPA. But for the second round, we got this mango sour, which reminds me of a mango lassi with a thick mouthfeel. And we also ordered the dank shot. After settling up, I walked around the corner to find this beer fridge with to-go beers, which had all of their off-trail series, which this series of beers is meant to push the boundaries of their brewing using wild yeast and then aging them in barrels. The 2 beers that caught my eye was this chai spiced barrel-aged chocolate porter and this mango and pineapple milkshake IPA. And that chai spice porter really nailed that spice profile. Just a quick heads up, Far East does charge each person a table charge. That typically comes as a small dish with no options to opt out or choose what you get. So be forewarned that if you do sit down, you'll be automatically charged for this no matter how many beers you order. The last morning we headed out to the same area as the pudding shop, to Shiro-Hige Cream Puff Factory in Setagaya City. There are 2 locations in Tokyo, and this one opens around 10:30 a.m. By the time we got there right around opening, there was already a line forming, and this place is allowed to sell Studio Ghibli themed treats because the owner is related to Hayao Miyazaki, and they have everything from little cookies, or the main reason we came here was to get their Totoro shaped cream puffs. Getting here right as it opened meant that we had all the flavors still in stock, but they can't sell out as they only make a limited number of each ones. The time we were here in the spring, the seasonal flavor was strawberries and cream, but the other flavors they had while we were there was matcha, chocolate, and custard. So don't forget to look around before you leave this area, as there's so many little Studio Ghibli things to see, and then we just walked back to the closest park on the way to the train station to open them up and enjoy them fresh. The Totoro with the green leaf on top of its head is the custard flavored one, and the Totoro with the pink hat is the strawberries and cream. I almost feel bad eating them as they're so pretty to look at, but then I just took a huge bite to expose the custard-filled pastry. Then for lunch, before heading to the airport, we went back to Shibuya to Healthy Junk Food, a completely vegan restaurant with a kind of 1950s interior feel. We had tried coming the day before, but they sold out of what we wanted, which was this omurice, so we just had to come back the next day, and it was totally worth it. It's rich and eggy in that sauce. Chef's kiss. Now you can shop here to pick up the omurice to make for yourself, including the demi-glaze sauce, along with other items like these chicken nuggets. Last thing we had to grab to go was a donut that we devoured on the plane ride home. Now all these food places were by far worth it, but somehow we mistimed one of the trains on the way to the airport and almost missed the bag drop for our international flight. But Japanese luggage and the security ended up being super quick, so we had just enough time to sneak in one last meal at Gion Tanto after security to get some gyoza and their golden sesame ramen. It's always hard to wolf down piping hot ramen before saying goodbye to one of your favorite countries, but I think the Pokemon helped a little bit. If you want to see other Japanese food recommendations, click the video on the screen right now, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future adventures, and I'll hope to see you again soon.